Hey guys, what's going on? Sully here again from the Adam Sully Music Theory blog, and I am back with the next episode of the Composer Vlog. So let's go ahead and get started here. And I'm welcome here with Tavares.
How y'all doing there?
Tavares is one of the guys who have been helping me start up the piece, who actually got the whole piano score together with me. And I figured we'd go ahead and on this last episode of where we're actually editing something, unless of course we wind up going longer than I'm supposed to, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start with working on this. So now, as we did last time, we were just mainly formatting it, as you can tell. We've been doing a lot of formatting except for that, and this in the corner. But we'll get to that later. First, I was wanting to go ahead, seeing that I hadn't done too many Finale tutorials, I was wanting to just demonstrate by hitting Control E. Goes from page view to what I call play view. I forget what the official name is for it, which it should be listed under the window. But basically, this is another way for us to play it, and it makes it a little bit easier to see. So, Control minus to zoom out a little bit, and probably need to do it a little bit more. Or no, just too much. We'll have to leave it a little cramped on the bottom. So let's go ahead and just take a look over this, and then I'll start pointing out what I need to work on. So as you can tell, I haven't done much since the last time, as you saw it. Also, if you hear any noise in the background, I'm sorry, but, you know, little brothers can be very annoying at times, and they love to test your patience. So he's doing that right now with that in the background. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to where I was talking to Tavares here a second ago. First thing that's wrong with this that I really want to fix is right here. I'll give you a second. I've probably known it for a while, but right here it goes from piano decrescendo to piano, which can be taken different ways, but in my case it's not what I'm wanting. And then right here is where the big one is, piano decrescendoing to a forte. That's wrong. That's just wrong. Now, the second thing I was talking to Tavares about, or at least that I pointed out, was I was wanting to fix this little fugue here between the violin 2 and the viola, where I got it's kind of a little staggered, just not really staggered. It's not supposed to be that. It was originally supposed to be staggered, in which it would just kind of, it would fill in each other's holes. But when I listen to it now, it doesn't quite feel right.
No, it doesn't look.
It doesn't look that great either, but it. So starting at the beginning of this fugue, so it'll be 19. Which it, and now that I think about it, it sounds a little bit better, but especially this beginning part here is not that bad. It's just right here, we got that going on, and it's kind of bouncing a little too much for my taste. Okay, I think it feels a little bit smoother. Now, where is it? Right here. Let's turn this tool back over to half note and make that so it doesn't. It wants to. Okay. So, sounds good so far. I'll make sure it snapped back and I kind of clicked when I wasn't supposed to. Okay. Now this bass line here is starting to eat at my nerves now. Because as y'all have probably figured out by now, I tend to be really picky about my bass. I like if there's a bass part in it, then it's got to be exact. And the way I set up this was it's supposed to kind of mimic the accent pattern of what's going on up in the upper strings. I feel like I'm, what's the guy's name? Eric Ross or whatever. Bob Ross. I feel like, but was that a mistake? It's a bird now. This should be a bird now. Was that an accent over a rest? Nah, it couldn't be. We'll just turn it into an actual, we'll get rid of that accent. Okay, I can live with that. I didn't really explain it too well in the last couple of videos, but the way I got it formatted so that the piano has its own thing, well, it's getting... What was happening was I had all this up an octave, and I had them playing that with the violins an octave, or a couple octaves below that, but what was going on was it was not writing well, because as you'll see here, shift that up, yeah. It doesn't look right, except for when I put the parts in it. But what I'm going to do, what I can do, is take that, take the low notes on each one. Kick them up an octave, and then put an 8 dB in its place. Now let's go back a little ways. Do 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 do. There it is. So now I'm gonna leave the violins where they're at, and then simply mark in 8 dB for the bass, which I think needs to be down here technically, but I'll have to go back in and double check that, but we'll leave it here for now, and then give them the 8 VA. And then what I'll do is in the parts, I'll go back in, after I print the score out first, of course, you go in with the parts and print them out, so that it is actually written out. So let's take a listen. Okay, first it dropped everything down, piano and all. It dropped both hands down on the piano, so that's not an option in this case, because that's wanting to take that down an octave, and I'm not a big fan of that. But however, I like the way the violin sounded. The violin part sounded pretty sharp. So let's go ahead and, I guess, kind of close that in a little bit, and then go back to where everything was. So hang on a minute, I'm probably going to fast forward for this. Okay, so now we'll go back to where we was a second ago. 30 something or another. Keep going back, there it is, 37. And we'll start here again. Okay, good. So now what we're going to do, take violins 2 line and do my favorite little trick called copy paste. And then it got rid of the 8 the whoops, and it got all that alignment. Oh dear, what do we do? Well, let's start by adding that 8. Yeah, that's right. 8. Whoops, that was not the right one. Oh my. So I'll add that 8 VA back in. Where it was. I guess what I'm going to have to do is just go ahead and reformat everything. So let me go back into page view, go back over here. I was trying to make it so that I could cram as much on each page as I could, but seeing that that's not going to work out for the first page at all. And let's see, did I knock that out? Yeah, I knocked that out. Okay. As long as it fits on the rest of the pages, I can deal with an extra half a page here. Right? Yeah, see. A little cramped except for between. Is it? Wait, what? Probably what I'll end up doing later on is adding in another page to compensate for that. So let's go back into the page. Where it's not going to be visible here, but whenever we flip it back over here, the way it's formatted. Wow, I need to take a look into that.
What the?
Yeah.
Did it just like shift it all the way down?
This one thing did. Let me
This one, at one page.
Yeah, on this one, two, long. There we go. Okay, that fixed that.
You fixed it.
But at one cost. I'm kidding. Okay, so it's trying to automatically format it so it would fit pretty well in all the scores. But anyways, now we can go in here, or technically down here, and format it so that the violin part actually is written at octave. Alright, so hopefully that'll play a little bit better. Although now that I think about it, I am a little concerned about what it's going to wind up doing here. Picking all that up in octave or not. But I guess there's only one way to find out. Jump forward to 37, and let's go. Okay, not bad so far. Let's see if it kept the 8th going. No, it didn't. All right, great. So now we've gone in. We're about the usual distance of the. So we got one more episode, and then we're going to be jumping to where Tavares and I are going to go shopping for some stuff to work on actually making this piece finish up. So, all right. Until next time again. Remember, fear the cellos, guys.